hide here? Why does it say hide? Trenches VR, I presume, is like Trenches the flat version, but probably dialed up to a billion scares. And before I get into whether it actually is scary or not, let's talk about the mechanics. There's a whistle so that you know which direction to actually go in order to hopefully complete your run. Although, truth be told, if I was hearing cries and screams, I'd probably head in the opposite direction. Shit in heck! Making noises and even breathing can alert the enemies towards you. In fact, you can actually use this to your advantage. Using bottles, throwing them in a different direction can kind of get them to go in that direction. You even get a weapon, like a gun, and a backpack to store things in. You also have to, in some degree, pick up these dolls in order to collect enough of them in order to progress, in the hopes of making it back to a trench with other people in, therefore a little bit more safe. I won't lie, with all the fog and everything, it's kind of hard to see within the game, although it does look kind of pretty-ish. There are two modes. You can have it at low quality and a high quality. There isn't too much difference between them, but everything's like fogged out anyway, so you're not really going to be expecting to see too far ahead of you anyway. It's definitely one of those games where you know it's coming, you just don't know where from, and eventually it does scare the shit out of you. Oh no. Oh shit. There are some cheap kind of jump scares in this game. It's kind of like things coming over the top of you, you know, by your eyes. Kind of scary, but also, you know, seeing things around corners that like poke out and then disappear. They're actually quite effective as well. It certainly kind of keeps you on your toes, but it does let you relax to a certain point as you wander around, picking up objects, putting them in your backpack, finding hopefully weapons to help defend yourself, and reading notes from them that have come before you. There are creatures in this game, messed up creatures, I mean seriously messed up creatures, and when you meet them for the first time, you'll be running and hopefully trying to hide, and then the music just goes wild and it just gets really scary. I will say that I did feel a lot of tension whilst within the trenches, and there was a lot of times that I just jumped and knee-jerked at some of the actual jump scares within trenches. It can actually be that scary here and there, especially when you've got the enemy and you've got some barbed wire, but you don't have a knife to cut said barbed wire. What do you do? What do you do? So, did I experience any problems? Yes, I did. There were frame rate problems, quite a few. It didn't really bother me too much, but it was definitely noticeable quite a few times during my gameplay. I also found that there was, or at least I couldn't get it to like grab things from a height. I had to either kneel down or reach right across or whatever it was to actually grab items, which was slightly annoying. I also found that sometimes its own mechanics kind of like pick and chose when it actually wanted to work properly. As a whole, it kind of did, sometimes it kind of didn't. I think definitely what worked in its favour was the sound, which was actually quite spooky. The noises around you was pretty decent, and the music score kept quite good pacing to what was happening on screen, or should I say, in front of you. Considering Trenches was made by one person on the PC, I think, on flat, and then converted into VR, actually quite impressive. I would not say it's the best horror game that I've ever played. I definitely wouldn't say it's the worst. In fact, it kind of holds up to some of the actual more expensive games. And let's face it, there aren't many World War I games out there. The score. For a game that uses insanity mechanics to basically change the world around you to, I don't know, make you go more insane, this one's actually not too bad. I did have fun and a good few scares. Halloween coming up very soon, it might be worth having a look at. Beware, there are a few problems that I've mentioned before, but they're not really game-breaking ones, and hopefully they'll fix them within a quick time. I am, however, going to be giving Trenches VR a 6 out of 10. I will be going back to it. It is quite good fun, and this is possibly one of those games that you may bring out whenever you have visitors just to see their reactions to it, which could actually be quite funny within itself. Let me know down in the comments whether you'll be picking this one up for your Halloween scares, and also like and subscribe. Thank you for joining me, because life is better when we game together.